Hello everyone, welcome to the new class of chemistry. After the previous class, we discussed about the integrated rate equations of zero order and first order reaction, their derivations as well as the graph related to them. Today's class we will we will discuss an important topic: half life of a reaction. So, what is actually a half life of a reaction? See, half life of a reaction is actually nothing but the reaction in which actually it is a time where the concentration of the reactant is actually reduced to half of the initial concentration. Concentration, it is actually the time where the concentration of reactant is reduced to half of the initial concentration of reactant. That is actually what is half-life of a reaction. It is the time where the initial concentration, the concentration of the reactant is reduced to half of the initial concentration. And the half-life of a reaction is always shown by T half. T, and in the side you will write half. T half. So let's get started. First we will find the half-life of zero order reaction. What will be the half-life of a zero order reaction? We know the rate constant equation of a zero order reaction. K equals initial concentration minus the final concentration divided by T. This is actually the half-life. Now we will substitute something here. We will use T half for T. The T which is given, we will consider it as a half life reaction. So T will be T half. What we said that in the half order or the half life order, half life reaction, what happens? If the time is taken half, then definitely the initial concentration, the concentration of an object will be taken as initial concentration. Means concentration of R will be half of the initial concentration of the reactant. So we will substitute both this value in the above equation. So what we will get? K equals R0 minus, for in the place of R we will write R0 by 2 or half of R0 divided by what we had taken half of the time. So we will take T half. We will take it as T half. Right. So this is how we will take. Okay. Now if we rearrange this particular thing, how can we write it? If we rearrange, we will write it as K equals R0 minus R0 by 2 divided by T half. We will rearrange, we will put the T half on the left side, so we will get T half equals R0 minus R0 by 2 divided by K. So R0 minus R0 by 2 means 1 minus half. What is 1 minus half? Half. So we can write T half equals R0 by K by 2K. Right. Half of R0 means R0 by 2K. Right. Now if we see it very clearly, we can understand one thing. Half life of reaction of a zero order reaction. Half life of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. We can understand this thing very clearly from the half-life of a zero order reaction. And it is inversely proportional to the rate constant. T half is inversely proportional to the rate constant 1 by K. We no need to bother about that. What we need to bother about is about what we had told now. half-life of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reaction. The more the initial concentration, the more will be the half-life, or more will be the half-life, the more will be the initial concentration. Anyways, okay, the greater will be the initial concentration, the greater will be the half-life. You can consider it in any ways. Okay, so this is the half-life order of a reaction, and the equation for this, for the half-life of zero order reaction, means T half equals 1 by 2, or concentration of R0 by K, or R0 by 2K, you can write in any ways. This is the zero order reaction's half-life. Okay, now that is about half-life of zero order. Now if we consider the half-life of the first order, we know the equation, rate constant equation, integrated rate equation of the first order, K equals R0, sorry, K equals 2.303 divided by T log R0 divided by R. That is the equation of the first order integrated rate equation, right? Same way that we had used in the previous for finding the zero half-life of the zero order reaction, we will take T as T half, and also we will take R as 1 by 2 R0. So if we make the rearrangement in this equation, I will write it here itself, it's better. So if we make the rearrangement here, so what will we get? We will get T half in case of T, and R0 by 2 in case of R, concentration of R, right? Now if we make the rearrangement, how can we write it? We can write it in this way. If we make the rearrangement, T half equals 2.303 divided by K log R0 by 2, right? R0 cancel, we will get log 1 by 2. We can arrange it and write T half equals 2.303 log 1 by 2 means 2. What is the value of log 2? If you are not knowing the value of log 2 has the value of 0.3010. That is the value of log 2. That is the value of log 2. We will put that value. And we will get, and there is a divided by K also, right? Divided by K. So we will write T half equals 2.303 by K into 0.3010. So if we multiply both these values, 2.303 with 0.3010, if we multiply both these values, the actual value that we will get is actually 0.693. So the half-life of the first order reaction will be, the equation will be 0.693 divided by K. If we see very closely for the half-life of the first order reaction, there is no dependency of initial concentration, but despite it is proportional to the, it is inversely proportional to the rate constant. You can see it in both the equations. In both the equations you can see it very clearly. Even you take half-life of the first zero order reaction, half-life of the first order reaction, both the half-life will be inversely proportional to the rate constant. But the thing that we have to consider here mainly, for a zero order reaction, half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. But for the case of the first order reaction, half-life is independent of the initial concentration. Half-life is independent on the initial concentration. That's what the thing you need to understand from the derivation of half-life for the zero order as well as the first order reaction. Okay, I hope you understood the derivation. Now let's get into the another topic, which is pseudo first order reaction. So what is pseudo first order reaction? Pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo first order reaction. I will tell the definition, and by the definition, by the help of definition, at least you can understand what is actually a pseudo first order reaction. Any higher order reaction could be 2, order could be 2, order could be 3, order could be 4. Any higher order reaction which is actually the first order, which is actually the first order. It seems to be higher order, but it behaves as the first order. Such type of reaction is known as pseudo first order reaction. Means the reaction is actually higher order reaction, but it behaves as a first order reaction. Such type of reaction is known as pseudo first order reaction. We will understand with the help of an example. We can very clearly see 2 examples are mentioned here. One example being taken is of ethyl acetate. Ethyl acetate. Hydrolysis of ethyl acetate is taken. Just see the concentration at the first when it was initially taken. Concentration of ethyl acetate was 0.01 mole, and the concentration of water, hydrolysis of ethyl acetate is being taken place. Concentration of water is 10. You will get the product acetic acid CH3COOH, and you will get the product ethanol C2H5OH. You will get the 2 products, but we don't need to consider about the products, because when we consider the order of a reaction, we only consider about the reactants concentration. What do you think could be the order of the reaction? There are 2 particular substances taken. Definitely the order must be 2, because 2 things are here. Order must be 2. But the problem here is the water was taken in a higher amount, and when a particular time occurred, the concentration, suppose the time taken was this is 0 second, and after 5 seconds, when after the 5 seconds of experiment, after near about 30 seconds, let's say take 30 seconds, after about 30 seconds of the experiment, concentration of water was just 9.9. Means very little change occurred in the concentration of water, but at the same time concentration of one of the reactant becomes less, because concentration of reactant at starting will be 0, but later the concentration will be higher, but the concentration of reactant will become slow. That's why when we write the rate of a equation, we always represent minus for the rate while writing the rate of the rate concentration of the reactant, and we put plus for the positive for the concentration of product. That's the reason. Because of this minus, it means it is reducing, but here the reduction is very less, or we can say that because of the during this course of reaction, the change in concentration of water was very less. So that's why only the concentration of ethyl acetate was considered here. So such reaction, it was actually second order reaction, but it behaved as a first order reaction, so it was known by the name pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo first order reaction. Okay, I hope you understood. Next, same example, actually it is inversion of cane sugar. If you take the cane sugar, you will only have to consider the rate of the cane sugar. Inversion of cane sugar means it's a sort of hydrolysis process where you get glucose and fructose. Inversion process is to be studied in this syllabus itself. Let's see if it is cancelled. If it is not cancelled, we will have to study it thoroughly. Okay. So that's all about this particular topic pseudo first order reaction. So you try to do this both questions as homework. They are simple questions, there is nothing much to worry. You have the equations, think logically how to evaluate and find out the answers. Try to do by yourself. If not possible, just mention it in the comment box that you are not able to do it. Okay, so that's all about the class. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and have a nice day.